We are live. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
And we're live on Instagram also.
Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, X,
Rumble, X, LinkedIn.
TikTok. Does TikTok?
We can very soon.
Okay.
We got to do some stuff to fix that.
And we got Kilt's Mighty Tribe, and we have our wonderful, amazing friend Robyn Herron and Carnivorous Grandma just saying hi, getting the KMT team to get a chance to say hi. And go at it, Dr. Nelson.
How are you doing, Robyn?
I'm good. How are you? Good to be here this morning.
So let's talk a little bit about you.
Okay, super. Now, my name is Robyn Herron, and I am your carnivorous grandma. And guess what about me? I am a 58-year-old. I have a husband and 4 grown kids. I have 11 grandchildren, so that's hence the moniker carnivorous grandma. I started carnivore February 22nd, 2023, and been going strong with primarily meat-based since then. I have tried a few vegetables. They don't agree with me in general. So I've been sticking with the meat, and it's been going really, really well. I've seen a lot of benefits to being meat-based. Primarily, I would say one of the main things is my eczema cleared up. I had really, really bad eczema on my face and on my hands. And now it's gone pretty much for the most part, unless I get a hold of something that doesn't agree with me, which I'm finding out that many, many things that I thought were healthy for me were actually not good for me and were causing me to be pretty sick. I had some IBS. I had constipation all the time, really, really struggled with that. For as long as I can remember. I mean, as I look at my grandkids, I'm like, I probably had this problem as a kid. And it was before the whole probiotics thing, so they didn't give me any probiotics, and I just kind of suffered with it all my life. And that really, really cleared up within about 30 days on carnivore. So that was pretty awesome. I had sleep apnea. I had iron deficiency anemia, which kind of surprised me. I went back and had my labs drawn about 6 months after I started carnivore, and I was no longer anemic. And so that was pretty cool. Even my vitamin D levels, which had been very, very low, were up after being on carnivore. Sleep, like my sleep has always been kind of not that great, but I found that I needed less sleep when I went on carnivore. So where I used to go to bed like 6 or 7 o'clock at night and sleep, 10, 12 hours, I don't need as much sleep. And I'm probably sleeping about 5 or 6 hours a night now. Although my sleep is still, I call my sleep trash, but I probably shouldn't call it that because that's not really that, that's not good words to use for it. But I sleep less. I had very, very severe debilitating anxiety, like to the point where I had to go to the doctor and say, put me on some medication because I'm not going to be able to function in normal life. I was getting to the point where I couldn't drive my car. Strange things would freak me out, like, driving down the road and seeing shadows on the road because the sun was shining, and that would freak me out. And I would have to just go back home. So I had her put me on some medicine. I think she put me on Zoloft, and I was on it for a year. And I was able to function better, but that medicine did not make me feel better. And it definitely didn't heal the problem that I was having. So about a year, I started weaning myself off of it after 90 days on carnivore because I was feeling like I probably don't need this anymore. And so I weaned myself off, and I found out that my anxiety was so much better. even though I still have some anxiety, it's not like debilitating to the point where I can't go outside and things like that. So it was really, really profoundly life-changing for me to go onto a meat based way of eating. And that anxiety was something that I think was controlling my life. I had racing thoughts. I constantly thought about food. And I hear this so much. I interview a lot of people on my channel, and I hear this same pattern so much, in that people are thinking about food all the time. They're obsessed. They're like constantly worried about food and thinking about food, and the food is controlling their lives. Well, I'll say the sugar was controlling your life. Basically I was sitting with my mom, and my mom and I have this thing. We would sit and talk about food all the time. I ate this today, and what am I eating tomorrow? And showing the pictures of the food, and just constantly thinking and talking about food. And one day my mom was like, talking about what she ate, and I'm thinking, I don't care what you ate. I don't want to talk about food anymore like that. So I talk about it a lot on my channel, but
it frees up
other than that,
some time.
yeah. Can you hear me? I heard you, Dr. Nelson. You were saying something. Good morning, everybody.
Hello,
It
everybody.
frees your time up when you don't think about food all the time. It just gives you time to free thoughts about other things in your life.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was so controlling. I was very much controlled by the foods that I was eating. And constantly thinking about food, talking about food, obsessing about food. And I was very worried about everything all the time. Like, I would tell my people, don't call me. Don't make my phone ring, because it's going to freak me out. I'm afraid something terrible has happened every time the phone rings. And so it was just really my life was constrained by the foods that I was eating. So I'm very, very thankful for the carnivore way of eating, and for really discovering that a lot of the food that I was eating was causing me to be very sick, including dairy, which is really so disappointing. But, like, I can't have heavy cream in my coffee. I can't do cheese anymore, because actually cheese makes my skin boil up from the inside out. Like, that eczema will go crazy on my hands if I eat cheese. So I recently have cut out cheese again. And, I always have said, like, what is a cheeseless life? Is a cheeseless life worth living? Those kinds of things about cheese. But recently I heard, and I know Dr. Kiltz, you met Dr. Yvonne Moore in Memphis when we were there together. And one of the things she said to me was so profound to me. She's like, why do you love the foods that don't love you? And I'm like, so I'm recently trying to fall out of love with cheese because it doesn't love me. It really makes me sick.
Where is the cheese made from? And so you have to minimize. Like, I'll do a Parmesan, and I'll do a blue. Now, goat's cheese versus cow's cheese, and raw versus pasteurized. So, but I do cheese minimally and infrequently, and I think that is one thing. But you might go without, and then have small amounts of very narrow amounts to see how you tolerate it. But I think that, milk is for a baby from a breast. And once we're done with that, the rest of it is history.
Yeah. So I recently did try to incorporate, we have a cheese store where the lady sells cheeses from all over the world. And I went to her store and said, I thought I would like to try some goat cheese, some lamb cheese. And I took just a tiny sliver of each. and my hands blistered up.
Mm.
And so I was like, I'm definitely not ready. Like my health state is not such that I can tolerate it yet. And so I have to.
Is it raw?
It was not, and she didn't have raw cheeses or fermented cheeses, so I have to maybe look at that. But yeah, it was just regular cheese.
You're right. You have to heal, but again, it's meant for babies, not for adults anyway. And then really, if you look at Pottinger's cats, the cats were damaged on pasteurized milk, and they were healthy on raw milk, and that's something that you might find, but ultimately it's not really it's a more, I guess it's starting in the Neolithic period. Dr. Nelson, is that kind of when we started Jesus? Do you remember? Exactly. Do you remember? I'm trying to see. Dr. Nelson is really old.
Good one. So you have found multiple benefits through using a carnivore diet, animal-based. What are you? Very interesting. You mentioned the anxiety. So the medication you were using for anxiety, and you mentioned that even the phone ringing was giving you anxiety, and now you tapered off the medication that was supposed to be to help you for anxiety, and you feel better now, basically just having your proper human nutrition. And that's very interesting. So we've developed some medications that might help different conditions, but food works better for you than the chemical.
Yes, absolutely.
From the pharmacy.
I felt a little bit out of it when I took that medicine. Like I was not my normal self, you know. There was something about when I went on carnivore at that 90-day mark, my brain felt so good. Like, oh, yay, this is the thing that everybody's talking about, that carnivore zen, like completely feeling like, you know, all is well. I felt but not happy, but I felt settled. I felt calm. I felt something I had really never felt before. That Zen feeling that I didn't even know what that was until I felt it.
Wow.
And that was the moment that I was like, okay, I'm going to wean off of this medicine because I feel really like, I don't feel like I'm going to need it anymore. And it turns out that I didn't. That medicine made me feel weird. And I'm really funny about medicines and taking a lot of different things. I come from a history of addiction. And so I was like, I don't want to be on any medication if I can avoid it.
A domesticated diet is an addiction diet because that's what our brain wants. There's nothing wrong with us wanting to eat sweets and all these things. That's natural because when it was around, you better eat a lot of it because there was only a small amount for a short amount of time, and it helped get you fat quickly because fat is the only fuel, the only metabolic fuel for our body, not sugars. And so, I've been having these discussions lately that we've been also brainwashed that you're just an addict.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not addicts. We're lions and strong human beings. As you think, so shall you follow. So we should eliminate this word addiction completely, in my opinion, because we've just been brainwashed and we've been basically thrown out a bunch of food that gets us fat fast and always, which is natural to our ancient environment, but it was just so infrequent. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was trying to show a picture with Carnivore's grandma.
Sure, let me put it up. I see it. Let me just add it to the screen. Aw.
Yay.
We met last June on Hack Your Health in Austin, Texas.
Yes.
I love that. Yay. Are you going to be at Hack Your Health this year?
I am.
Yay. I'll meet you too then.
Yay. I'm super excited, Ali. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait also. It's a long time coming.
So I wanted to go back to the topic of addiction for a second, because this is what Dr. Kilt is saying is really, really profound. And I think that what I'm hearing in the space, and I can attest to this because, like I said, I came from a history of addiction and, we call it whatever we want to call it, like really desiring to have things that you shouldn't have, basically, or too much of it, overconsumption. But I'm hearing people, getting rid of things like alcoholism, and being able to stop drinking alcohol. I heard recently a story about a gentleman who was able to give up marijuana. All of a sudden, he just lost the taste for it, and didn't need to do it anymore. And they say like marijuana is not addictive, but this person was doing marijuana again a good amount every single day, and then all of a sudden he just didn't want to have it anymore. And so it's it's beneficial in a lot of ways, including getting rid of food addiction. And what other word are we going to use, Dr. Kiltz? I don't like that word either.
Well, again, it's once again because the world of addiction, science, and medicine is humongous. And so everyone walks around saying the words, well, I have an addiction, right? And so as you think, so shall ye be. Ever heard those words?
Yep.
Who told us those
Well,
words?
those are from the Bible. As
It's
a
from the
man thinketh,
Bible.
so is he.
So why would you think those things? JC in the Bible never said, they told you, no, you're perfect, you're beautiful, you're wonderful. So as you think those things, you begin to realize that I'm not what they constantly tell me I am. I'm what he tells me I am. And so I am perfect. And so you're a sinner, right? You're not. You're forgiven. Number one, you must forgive thyself for all that past. And so we are lions. We are not sheep. We don't go around saying I'm weak and meek and I can't do this. We do not do that. And so I just think that once again, lose it. And as you think, you shall become, because again, we hang out with all of our addictive friends in an addiction conversation, and I could never touch that. Well, again, I'm not saying go touch any of that stuff, but when you begin to realize that we are in the lion's way, we are strong. Our words always are the true world we live in.
And I think that carnivore helped me to be able to be that, right? So a lot of times you're just caught up in these different cycles. And that's where I was with my food and eating, and not realizing how much damage those foods and non-foods were doing to my body. Like I was eating food that what they called food. I mean, something they call like a processed cheesed food is not actually food. All these boxes and bags and things with long lists of ingredients are not actually food, but we're eating and consuming it like it is. And it's making us really sick.
And that's a big problem, because I mean, thousands of years ago, we didn't eat 100% perhaps meat. There were berries in the summer. We would find it and eat it. There were other foods that were not necessarily just the animal, muscles and fat, but it was mostly that. And we would tolerate eating some other stuff. Nowadays, you walk into, I mean, where do we go hunt? It's a supermarket, like
Wendy's.
Yeah. So jokingly, I say, well, I went hunting today, because usually I go out and come back with some meat. But we go to a place, a big box store that has hundreds and hundreds of thousands of items.
Right.
And most of them in the food sections, they tell us they're food. Oh, you can have this and have that. And they come in a box, a bag, or a can. and they make us think it is something that you could eat, and you could actually, yes, buy it and come home and eat it, but it's not real food. By the way, it's going to be 4 months since I've had the bag of hamburger buns that I bought around January 1st. I just checked it yesterday. Not a hint of mold yet. Or
Oh
4 months.
wow! Oh, and is it in the fridge or on the counter?
No, not in the fridge. It's in a basket. I haven't thrown it away because
Have you opened the bag at all?
I have.
Interesting.
Wow.
4 months is going to be the 30th of this month or something like that.
Wow, that's crazy. That tells you that this is full of chemicals, because food doesn't last like that. Like, you know, you have to be able to store and freeze it. You got to be able to salt it or do something to it to make it last. And if it's not molding, then it's not bread.
It's not something we should put in our bodies.
No, I wouldn't need it.
Definitely.
I just want to say today the hashtag is grandma, and we're giving away electrolytes. So make sure you do hashtag grandma for your chance to win Killed
Could
Self
you spell
electrolyte.
it? Could you spell it?
Grandma.
Grandma.
Oh, I have grandma in there.
Grandma. Okay.
What is it?
Sorry.
What is it? Spell it.
Grandma.
What's the correct spelling?
Grandma
Grandma.
without the D is what she calls
Grandma.
herself.
Oh, well,
G-R-A-N. Would you spell it on there,
M-A.
Ollie? Put a hashtag
okay,
on.
but I put the hashtag as grandma, so I'm just gonna keep that because we already have entries.
Right. So
Yeah.
grandma is the word today.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
today.
Robyn.
That's okay.
Sorry, Robyn.
It's just me who's grandma. Like, that's what my grandkids call me. I always called my grandmother's grandma, and we didn't have a grand on there, so it was just grandma.
Yeah, we did the same thing. And we have Kilt's Mighty Tribe. We have to figure out how to meld in Kilt's Mighty Tribe in here, unless we have unless we
We'll do
work
that
on a
tomorrow.
separate KMT YouTube channel or something.
We could do that.
Yeah. Alan Carr. I haven't read Alan Carr's book, but I do know, the truth be said, you know, it's sort of, again, it's just really, really an important concept that it's hard in our world of influencers who are trying to tell you you're an addict.
Right.
And I just think we got to get rid of it. Done with that.
We got to focus on what's right and what's good about human beings. We got to that's where the attention goes. You put your attention on is what you get. So are we going to get addicts or are we going to get beautiful human beings?
And I also tell people, if you have a small amount of plant from time to time, don't lose your shirt over it. It doesn't mean you've gone nuts. Or if you might have a little bit of ice cream or cookie or cake, small amounts infrequently from time to time, that is not your sin. Your sin is when you give it voice and you blame it for your problems. I am healthy and well. I am a lioness or a lion. I am a carnivore. As you think, as you embrace, then you will suddenly find yourself, oh my God, I haven't had that cookie cake or, well, I have Kiltz's ice cream from time to time, or any of that other stuff in such a long time. And if you have that
allowed.
What?
I said that one is allowed. Kiltz's ice cream.
Yes.
I have not tried it yet. And I, recently, like I said, figured out that I can't have the dairy. Heavy cream. I knew that heavy cream was a problem for me, but I still kept trying to have it. And now it's to the point where if I have a teaspoon of heavy cream in my coffee more than once, blisters in the hand.
There is one milk that you might find acceptable. Mother's milk. Human milk.
I'm good.
Human mother's milk, by the way. But again,
it's probably expensive.
It's hard to find currently, although it probably should be a lot more available.
It probably should. Yeah.
Well,
I think I'm good. I think I've learned my lesson. Like, this eczema problem that I've had. I mean, I had a terrible, terrible seasonal allergies and eczema all my life. And I went to many doctors, It reminds me of the story of the woman with the issue of blood. We talked about it yesterday in church. Went to many doctors and said, I think, it's this or that kind of food that's causing the problem. And they said, it's not food related. It doesn't matter what you eat. And I knew that I just knew it in my heart. Like if I do certain things, it causes this to flare up. But they would tell me, no, it's not food related.
Interesting.
So
Susie D calls the processed products edibles because they're edible, but definitely not food.
Right.
Definitely, it's fake food.
It's fake food.
Yeah, fake food. Robyn, what are you? How many times a day do you eat?
Typically, most days I eat once a day, one meal. I'm doing a 24-hour fast, a minimum of one time a week. So I have one planned 24-hour fast. And then sometimes I just end up fasting for, 24, 25, 26 hours just naturally. Some days I do eat twice a day, and very rarely I'll eat a third time in a day. But yeah, I typically just eat one big meal a day.
What are you eating in that meal?
I'm eating all the meats. So I really do prefer beef. Like beef is the most satiating. Lamb is pretty good too. But I do eat like chicken. I eat pork. I love a good pork steak on the grill. So good. I eat a lot of bacon. But mainly I eat beef. Yesterday, I'll tell you what was on my plate. We had a ton of meats and everybody was like, this is the meat house because it was at my house. I'm like, yep, that's right. It's the meat house. So I had ham and I had turkey and I had prime rib, brisket, and somebody brought a corned beef. So I just had a whole big plate full of meats and it was very delicious.
Were you manning the green? Were you working the grill yesterday?
I didn't do a grill yesterday. I did a prime rib.
Okay.
I usually do prime rib for Easter, and I happened to catch some really beautiful prime rib for like $8.99 a pound, which is like, wow, because it's been $14, $15 a pound. And then they had a coupon for $1 off per pound. So I got it for $7.99 a pound, and I just bought a whole primal. And then I cut off a piece of it for prime rib for dinner.
Awesome. It sounds so good.
It was really, really good.
If people have questions, please.
We have two right now. Anna PL07. I read that if a person has a gallstone or a stone in a gallbladder, they should not do intermittent fasting because gallbladder should work and open often. So IF is not good. What do you think?
What do you think, Robyn?
What do I think?
Yeah. Do you have a gallbladder?
I'm not sure about the impact of fasting on gallbladder. I know like when you do not eat enough fat, your gallbladder will get sludgy. Like your job of your gallbladder is to express bile onto fat. So we are not eating fat and our gallbladder is like sitting around getting sludgy. So if you have a stone, I think that I don't think that personally, I'm not sure that intermittent fasting would be detrimental to that, but I'm not a medical doctor.
What do you think, Dr. Kilt? Intermittent fasting and gallbladder problems.
Well, I think historically we've eaten, and the majority of our diets are low fat. So most people eat a high plant protein, lean meat diet, which means there's very little real fat. Now, fats from an animal, oils are from plants. Plant oils are not natural or good for us in any significance or frequency, in my opinion. And so when you eat fat, the gallbladder releases bile, and that helps emulsify the fats, which are then placed into chylomicrons and absorbed through the lymphatic system, not the liver. Then the chylomicrons are delivered to every cell of your body. And so I think that naturally we fasted probably for days, and maybe in rare occasions, weeks, or even if we truly did have some sort of nesting hibernation-like activity, caving, or gestating, we probably fasted a long time, because we use our fat as the energy and the building block of our body. So when you fast a couple of days or a day, I think you work fine, and that really builds the strength of your body. I think fasting is one of the healthiest things we could do. But most people still, even as carnivores, consume lean meat diets, and they cook their meat. They lose all the fat. The meat that's delivered to us at the supermarkets are low in fat. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges, is we're not eating raw fat.
So as long as you're eating it, as long as you're eating a high fat diet, basically you're priming your system to secrete bile. Liver produces the bile, goes to the gallbladder, it gets stored there until you eat. Your body, if you're eating a high fat diet, your body knows, oh, fat's coming, let me start releasing some of these, and basically that regulates your system. Intermittent fasting, and sometimes we say intermittent fasting. To me, fasting is more than 24 hours. So intermittent fasting, many people are talking about time restricted eating on a 6 and 8 or 20 and 4 patterns. But what you're eating with the fat, it usually helps regulate how your gallbladder is working. And some people don't have a gallbladder. You'll get used to also doing it the same way, because your liver knows, oh, when you're eating fat, so let me start releasing, and it ups the production of fat, of bile. Even if you don't have a gallbladder, your liver will produce the bile if you get it on a routine.
So you said the liver basically is always making bile. It's always secreted not only into the gallbladder, but past the gallbladder into the GI tract.
Yeah.
I'm curious though, like if you have a gallstone and you do like long-term fasting, isn't that going to help like break it down through autophagy and get it out of your system? I'm only curious about that because you hear like Dr. or Thomas Seyfried and other doctors bring up long-term fasting killing off cancer cells. Wouldn't it kill off a gallstone? Break it down potentially?
Don't know.
It's worth a shot. We have another question. This one's from Instagram. The Mogs. How to get under 10% body fat. I've been doing carnivore for a few months and I can't seem to be able to get under 10% for the past month, and I feel like I reached a plateau. Any tips, please?
Eat more fat. That would be my vote. That would get my vote.
Well, first of all, under 10% is not normal. So I don't know if this is someone who's trying to do a bodybuilding competition or something like that. But even men, the normal range for men as far as body fat percentage is 10 to 18. For women, it's about 18 to 25, 10 to 20 in general, and women up to 25. That's what the most people will have. So under 10, don't know the purpose for that. Usually someone's trying to do some sort of bodybuilding.
There you go. It's from Haley. Grandma, has anyone... Oh, go, Dr. Kiltz.
Let me just finish this.
Yeah.
No other animal wants to be skinny. It is dumb. It is not in your survival benefit. And so this, again, anyone says you have to be this size doesn't know what they're talking about. Skinny is deadly for any organism, and they're doing their very best to get as much fat in and on their body as possible. So obesity is never the cause of disease.
especially if you're eating a species appropriate diet.
Correct. Haley, Grandma, has anyone in your family followed your way of eating?
So it took 2 years for someone to try it. After they watched me for 2 years, the first person was actually my daughter came to me and said that she wanted to try keto and asked me if I would coach her. And I said, absolutely, 100%, I will coach you. So she tried keto for a month and found that she was still dealing with a lot of cravings. So she went carnivore, and she's been carnivore for going on 2 months now. And then my
Wow.
sister-in-law came and said she wanted to try it, and she's been rocking it out, and I'm so proud of her. Her name is Kendra. She actually they were on my show recently, 3 ladies that I'm coaching that have recently started carnivore. So all of a sudden, it took 2 years of me doing it, like that they were like, okay, this is working for her. She didn't die. So let's go ahead and try it. So it's been very, very cool to see people starting to, want to try it because it's amazing.
That's awesome. Yay, good job. Let's see. Grandma from Eve, have you had dry skin? Mine has improved incredibly eating raw fat.
So I've never tried raw fat, but I've heard really great things about it. But I probably would be maybe one of those people who needs to pop it like a pill rather than just chew it up and eat it. But I do enjoy my fat, and my skin has been very dry. Like that eczema, it's so dry. It has this process that it goes through of drying and flaking and blistering, and it's really, really awful. So yes, I do have struggled with dry skin. And particularly I had it around my eyes and around my mouth. It was very, very dry. And even now, if I get a hold of something like certain spices, certain foods that I eat will cause it to flare up. And then I'll get like it'll start to dry out. But raw fat might be something that I could try and incorporate it.
So now raw fat is the healthiest thing to eat. One, it contains every building block of your body, every mineral and vitamin in your body. And so adipose tissue is exactly what your body wants. And this is kind of the myth. I am actually going to so I just got my Dexcom 7. I've been wearing it for like a week. My for 3 days I didn't eat. My blood sugar is on average between 47 and 55. Never felt better in my life. Okay. And then I went on I did my one meal, my steak a day, and it went up to like 150 and then went down, and I do one meal a day. And then, so my next thing is to eat raw fat for a few days. So that's coming up, but I'm not sure it's going to probably be when I get back from my vacation, maybe in May or June. But I think it's
let us know so that I can try it with you.
Yes, absolutely, Robyn.
Okay, we have another question from Instagram. This is from Metabolica BA from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Hi, carnivore since August, feeling amazing. My lipid panel really changed. My ratio is still very good, but the LDL went from 110 to 148, and the total cholesterol from 192 to 244. Who wants to take a stab at this one?
Congratulations. You're doing great. I think those numbers sound amazing. As a non-medical practitioner, I feel like that is you're going in the right direction.
Love that.
A non-medical practitioner. Ultimately, isn't the problem Western medicine?
Yes,
and
it
that
is.
we bring back our ancient, talk to your grandmother about what she learned from her sisters and their sisters, and all the way back. That's what we really need to remember, that we're basically lied to by the lions that want to keep you and I weak, meek sheep, and 100%. It's the science, and maybe Dr. Nelson could talk about it. Malcolm Kendrick's book, The Clot Thickens, is the science of cholesterol and the lipoproteins real science, or may it be it's manipulated science?
It's probably manipulated. I can tell you that for sure drug companies do manipulate. Real statistics can still be manipulated the way you present them.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna go on my rant of the statins, but that's what happens.
Non-medical practitioners. Okay, we got another question. Let's see here. SL, hi everyone. What is the best prenatal on carnivore? TTC after miscarriage, carnivore for 1.5 years. Dr. Kiltz, what's TTC?
Trying to conceive.
Oh, okay, thank you. Okay. I think that we've got molecular fertility. Fantastic prenatal supplements to get. Go to drkiltz.com or cnyfertility.com to purchase those.
And the best is still going to be organ meats and real rare to raw fatty meat. But we do have an organ meat supplement and a liver supplement.
Also,
and for those that are in the vegetable world, you're part of our team. We don't want to lose you. You could still utilize our supplements, molecular fertility. We have a plant-based supplement, but we believe that we all need to be moving to the animal-based supplements and the rare to raw and from the animal. Robyn, what do you think about ruminant versus non-ruminant meats? You think there's really a difference that we've proven?
I would say so. Having not read the research on it, anecdotally, I will say that I feel better when I eat ruminant meats, particularly beef. And so I do feel like there is something to that. And a lot of times people will get a little reaction to eating like chicken. I recently was listening to somebody who was talking about the fact that, chickens and pigs, they have just one stomach. So a lot of the things the chemicals that are being placed in the food, right, are passing straight through to us, right through the meat of the animal. Whereas the ruminant animal has this multi-chambered stomach. But what I can say is, for me, when I eat beef and beef fat, I feel amazing. It's so satiating, and it also makes you feel good. Whereas if I just eat chicken, I'm going to be hungrier. And I do enjoy chicken. I like beautiful chicken thighs. I love chicken skin and chicken wings and all of that stuff. But as far as satiation and being happier or feeling good, beef is what makes me feel the best.
Although I go back to, I think that we're not going hunting chickens. And fish, we didn't eat just the fillet. We ate the whole animal, including the organ meats, and we ate the skin and the head, right? Nobody's eating that today. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to pork, probably one of the most amazing foods you could consume, which is full of really great fat. But as you said, what those animals are eating isn't as healthy as we believe it once was. I don't know how long ago, but those free range, I know Iberico ham, they forage, and so that might be it. But mm-hmm. I would say it's those fatty animals. But okay, we're going duck hunting. How many ducks can you hunt if you don't have guns, right?
Well, we got to talk to Rick Rodriguez about that one.
Right. He'll tell us. Quack.
Susie D from KMT rubs tallow on her skin. It's been miraculous and no more dryness. And that's been really good. But tallow and lard, I think, again, the one, which one is that? Carnivore?
This is Emma. Emma, yeah. Compassionate Carnivore. Love it.
but everyone should know you could render and make, but you could render your own tallow or lard products
Yep.
easily. And in my opinion, it's again, the rendered fats are not your food. The raw fats are your food. The raw to really rare meats are the best food for you because they haven't been damaged.
Yes, I do enjoy. I mean, I'm getting more and more rare as I go along. I used to eat my meat. You know, the thing about it is back in the day when I grew up, everything was cooked to death. Like everything had to be like shoe leather. They're like, you can't eat your pork chop unless it's like shoe leather, you know, it needs to be crispy. And I'm eating the meat more and more rare, which is like shocking because they're like, you know, the animal is bleeding on your plate. I'm like, it's not blood that's coming out of the meat, you know, it's and so people how I grew up was well done. Everything was well done. And so nothing was delicious. It was all dry.
Awful.
Not, I'm kidding, but you know, we do make some good food. But what I'm saying is I'm eating my meat closer to rare, not like blue rare, but you know, medium rare, which is unusual.
But you really want to get to raw for it to be the healthiest for us. Yesterday, I cooked a Bighorn Mountain sirloin, and it really marbled. And I cut it up into small pieces, salted it, and started eating it. I did a quick flash in the pan with all the grease, a little bit of butter and salt, and it was black and blue.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is the healthiest. The raw is the healthiest thing we could eat. And the blood is part of what we consume, because when we hunted and killed that animal, if you didn't eat it fast, something else was going to eat it and it was going to be gone. So, you know, it's got to be, there was an ancient need to eating raw. That was who we are, really, truly.
Yes.
But I just want to say the comment that it's okay to eat chicken, fish, turkey, but start, you know, if you got to start somewhere, that's really good. Add the fat, add the butter, but as you begin to realize the strength you'll get, and I just take a small piece, salt it up, and chew it, and then you know, it's like anything else. You've been convinced. Oh, once again, remember, the word addiction is something I've convinced you are. And the word like you can't eat that raw. It's not good for you. Our brains are already going like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
There's a question for you, Dr. Kiltz.
Yep.
Sorry, another question. Can you eat non-well done meats when pregnant?
Raw to rare all day long. That again, I'm going to use the word well sourced, but in America, our butchers, our production of meat is amazing. You know, you want to go, you know, check out with your rancher, your processor locally, your butcher, and even Costco, Walmart, Price Chopper. There's great, amazing meat in America, and you want to get, again, the larger cuts. But I mean, there's so many great cuts of meat that you can consume pregnant. But I think rare to raw is the healthiest thing for all of us. And again, even in the if you're going to go in the milk or butter or cream, you can find some good sources out there that I think can be very healthy for us.
We have so many more questions.
Let's go at it for Robyn.
Yeah. Okay, good. Here, Robyn, answer this one. This is from Julian. What is your conclusion about ruminant meat? Most high fat is in pork belly, I think, more than beef.
So I think that ruminant meat is the top of the line for what we should be eating. I really believe that those 4-chambered stomachs make a difference in the quality of the meat that we're getting, because it's breaking up all the stuff that they're putting on the plants that the animal is eating. Now, you know, if you're getting something that is regeneratively raised on a regenerative farm and there's no chemicals being placed on the food, that might be better as far as meat of, you know, pigs and turkeys and chickens and things like that. So, but I feel that ruminant meat is the top of the line for human beings to eat.
Agreed.
Excellent. Let's see. This from Eve. Do animal brains benefit our brain if we eat them?
Yes, I say yes, it does. I don't know the mechanism of that, but I do believe that you're not gonna eat a ton of animal brain, because if you think about the size of an animal, right? And like a cow, and how much brain there is, and the tribe or whatever you had way back in the day are not going to get that much brain. But yes, I think that brains is would benefit.
There weren't too many that had the brains or got the brains.
Yeah, just probably the leaders would probably get to eat that brain, and I'm sure they probably ate it before they got home.
Probably. I've tried to get it, and the butchers won't do it. They won't cut it out. They'll have the head. They won't cut it because they'll destroy their cutting tools. So it's not the easiest to get. Maybe go for lamb brain. That's easier to get out, apparently.
Or you can try the organ supplement from.
There you go. There you go. Mark Sapien.
It includes brains, by the way.
There you go. Killshealth.com. Okay, Mark Sapien. What is the best way to cook meat? Smoking, gas, grill, charcoal, in a pan?
Ooh. So I love to cook meats a variety of ways. So if you're talking about best tasting, I do enjoy the grill outside. But if I'm in the house and it's cold outside, I like to cook my meat in the cast iron, get that cast iron pan screaming hot, and put the meat on there and let it just char up. It's so good. But yeah, I like cooking a variety. I love to cook anyway. So grilling when it's hot outside, I'm pretty much grilling almost every single day. And then other than that, I do have an indoor grill as well. It will do the trick. But yeah, my favorites are the cast iron and the outdoor grill.
Here's my reason for the pan is because it captures the grease. Again, it's raw fat's better, but even the captured fat is really important to consume, because it's our lack of eating fat that may be our biggest cause of disease. So if you're still in the plant eating world, cook the plants well, add animal fat, and that will help reduce the microbes in the gut. Those microbes want to consume you and kill you. They're not your friend. I'm sorry. The microbiome is deadly for humans. It's there. And it is. Go ahead, Robyn.
I just wanted to chime in on this fat topic, because I think that, you know, I've been recently, my friend Denitra, and I think you guys may all know who Denitra is.
Yeah, we know Denitra. Awesome.
She's been doing a sort of, not a low fat, but she just recently discovered like beef fat trimmings, you know, that you could just eat the fat like popcorn. And I can see in her countenance the change from her eating a week worth of eating beef fat every day for a week. She seems more settled. She seems happier. You know, she seems to be better off eating that fat every day. And that's a thing that we are so, you know, we've been programmed that eating fat like that is just wrong. We should not be doing it. But try eating fat every day before you consume anything else. Eat the fat and see how amazing you're going to feel. Those beef fat trimmings are life.
I always eat the fat first. The fat, again, it's the building block of your body. It's an antimicrobial. It reduces the microbes in your gut. And it is so, I think, important, exactly what you're saying, Robyn. And too many people now, if you're in the I want to lose some extra pounds, go lean meat for a short amount of time, and look at Marie Emmerich's work on protein sparing modified fasting. But it is not a life sustaining diet. You must focus on fatty meat to be the healthiest. And I believe eating one meal a day or less is even the next level.
Exactly.
Dr. Nelson, are you back eating again?
Yes, I I did a 10-day fast, Robyn. I ended it
Nice.
sometime last week. So
I usually do a long fast once a year, at the beginning of the year. I think this year I just did 5 days, but usually I'll do a 5 to 7 to 10-day fast every year.
I do quarterly a 5 to 7 day fast, and monthly a 2 to 3 day fast. I just finished up a 3-day fast. I did a 5-day fast last month, so I don't know if I'm going to do it this month.
Nice.
So Dr. Kiltz, Lewis is asking, are we going to do a group fast coming up?
Well, I'm probably not, because I'm traveling the rest of the month. So that may be, but maybe we'll get Dr. Nelson.
Well, when you come back, though.
Yeah, I will when I come back. Absolutely, we'll do a group fast when I come back.
Great. We need to do the giveaway. Oh, I have to say something really quick. There were 4 people that didn't email me, and I put a post in the YouTube, Dr. Kiltz's YouTube page. Go to his YouTube page. If you are one of those people, please email me so I can make sure you get your tasty air fryer. There you go.
Or let us know if you don't want.
You have the names that have.
Or let me know.
Do you have the names? Do you have the names who have not gotten their?
Yeah, let me look at it real quick. While I am finding that, you guys can answer one more question. Okay, so
I do have a question, and that's for today at the Zoom meeting. Do we have any guests?
Lily Kane is our guest today, but don't ask me a question. Answer this, because I need to concentrate on finding those names.
Oh, that's okay. We'll bring it up tomorrow. You can bring it up tomorrow.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I'll bring it up tomorrow, the names. But if you are missing it, I know one of them is the feral grandma. One of them is the feral grandma. Yeah, I'll find the post tomorrow and I'll post.
So today, Lily Kane in our Zoom call at the Kiltz Mighty Tribe. If you're not a member, go to drkiltz.com, sign up, and you can be part of our Mondays Zoom call, 5:30 p.m. usually.
Yep, 5:30 p.m. Eastern. All right, here we go. Hashtag grandma. Who's going to win these electrolytes today? Let's see. Here we go. Drum roll.
Congratulations.
Norse Carnivore. Wow, I'll figure out how to ship those out to you. And pretty soon, Jonathan is going to be on our morning live stream. So I think in May. Nice. There we go. Yay. Please email me. All right, here we go. Oh, thank you so much, Lewis. Thank you. He's one of our Kiltz My Tribe members and one of our moderators. Thank you so much. He says the following people need to get their air fryers: Kim M, D Lee, the feral grandma, and Bradley Sanford. If you are one of those people, please email me. There you go.
And to our volunteers, we need more. We're grateful. Remember, we're all doing this together as a community. And the more we can all do this within Kiltz Mighty Tribe and all the other things we're doing, and KMTs for free for everyone. I'm going to be in Australia, Melbourne this Saturday coming up. Yep. So if you don't have tickets, let's make sure we have a link for people who can get tickets, again, around the globe. And let's see. And then our next meetup is where?
It will be, well, Meatstock. We got Meatstock coming up 15 through 19 in May. And then after that, June 7th in Seattle. And then our Boston Kiltz Health meetup on June 28th with Healing Humanity.
Awesome. A
Can't
lot
wait.
of stuff coming on in Seattle. When's Seattle?
So that's June 7th.
And Seattle is June 7th?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
okay, so it's meats. It's Melbourne, Australia. It's going to be then meat stock.
Meat stock.
Oh, there is actually one before that. The Toronto meetup is May 10th.
Okay,
actually.
so all right. So actually, May 10th is first. May
first,
10th,
yeah.
then meat stock,
Then meat stock.
and then Boston.
Seattle, June 7th, and then Boston, June 28th. And I've pinned in the chat where you can sign up to all of those.
Yes, and we'd love everyone to become volunteers at all of our events. Let's, whenever we're at these events together, Kilt's Mighty Tribe, let's get together. Let's make sure we get a picture together and have a good round of applause for everyone being part of these groups. Robyn, when's your next event coming up?
So my next event is probably going to be, I'm planning a meetup for Michigan, and we have not yet had any meetup in Michigan. I'm looking at August 30th, and I have invited Dr. Kilt to come and be part of that.
Let's check our dates, Alia, because that's not far from where I'm at. It's easy enough in general.
Oh, I have it noted here. I have it noted on the calendar, Robyn, August 30th. So
yeah. And then I think maybe Wisconsin.
July 26th. Wisconsin,
air adventure, one of the air adventure things, maybe up in Wisconsin with Carrie and David Devonke.
And where? Oh, sorry. Let me just ask this really quick. Where in Michigan?
Where is Michigan?
Where is Michigan?
Michigan is the mitten of the country. But Kalamazoo, Michigan is where I live, and that is where I'm planning to host the meetup. So I hope that we'll get a huge turnout and come out and be part of it.
Sure.
So where can we find you, Robyn?
You can find me on all my social media. So I'm on, of course, YouTube, Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok. Carnivorous Grandma, Grama. And yeah, come on, check me out.
All right, all. Thanks so much for being
everybody.
Appreciate everyone. God bless.
Have a
Love
good
you
day.
all. Bye.
Hey, thanks for having me.